We're back from Monday Night Football. We got two games here. In this video, we're going to be talking about three player props that I like for tonight. Welcome, guys. My name is DK. I cover content for PrizePicks, Underdog, Parlay Play. Parlay Play, they're the sponsor of the video. If you're not on Parlay Play, you can use the link down below for a $100 deposit match bonus. Super excited to be working with them, and they do offer a ton of props. They have, MLB, NFL combos, WNBA, esports, UFC. So give it a try. Again, my advice is always get on as many of these sites and take advantage of those deposit bonuses. And then you can search across all of these for different, for the best value when you're placing your player props. So get on Parlay Play. If you guys are not on, use that link down below. And if you're looking for more content for player prop stuff or for DFS, you can check out my Patreon link down below. It's been a phenomenal start to the season, and we're looking to keep it going. So if you guys watched my video for the Sunday main slate for PrizePicks and Underdog, we full swept the board 4-0 and going into Sunday Night Football on a 21-3 run over the last few days. It's been incredible, and we're hoping to keep it going. Thursday, I made a video for Thursday Night Football. We went 6-1 on Thursday Night Football too. Of course, the one miss is one of the picks I included in the YouTube video, which was a little bit tilting, but it's been an incredible stretch. We've hit so many 25Xs in the Discord over the last 2-3 days, and we're hoping to keep it going for tonight. So, like I said, guys, if you're interested, down below, or hit me up on Twitter if you have any questions. And let's just get right into it. So, we're going to be looking at a couple of receptions props and then a rushing plus receiving prop. So, let's first go to those receptions props that I'm looking at. All right, so the first one we're going to be looking at is going to be Jamal Williams at 1.5 receptions, and we're going to be taking his over 1.5 receptions. Now, here's why. Jamal Williams obviously didn't do a ton last week, right? He just didn't. He was bottled up by a tough Tennessee defense, but here's the thing. There's no real competition right now for touches in the backfield for the New Orleans Saints. Jamal Williams played 49 of the 65 snaps, and he ran 24 routes. So the backup running back was Tony Jones. He played 7 snaps. You might have Kendre Miller back coming off that hamstring injury, but even if he's available, I don't think he's going to be utilized a ton. That hammies been bothering him for a while now, so that is a little bit concerning. So I don't think he'll get a full workload. I think I'll just probably play the backup running back position over Tony Jones if he is available. So I don't think Kendre Miller is going to be taking a ton of work from a guy like Jamal Williams. I think that could happen later in the season, but again, you got Kamara coming back then. So, right now, like I said, there's just not a lot of competition for touches with Jamal Williams. If you take a look at the receptions prop right now on DraftKings, currently the juice is pretty heavily on the over, minus 135 for 1.5 receptions. He had 2 receptions last game, but again, it's really just a workload thing. And Derek Carr will dump it off to the backs a fair amount as well. So it's the fact of Jamal Williams going to play a majority of the game. He's going to run a lot of routes. And the juice is pretty heavily on the over. We're taking over 1.5 receptions for Jamal Williams. I believe you can get that on Underdog as well. Let me just confirm that. They don't have his receptions on Underdog. But a PrizePicks, you can get it 1.5. We're taking more than 1.5 receptions for Jamal Williams. The other receptions prop that we're looking to is actually be Adam Thielen. We're going to take more than 2.5 receptions. I just think this line in general is just way too low. Now, I know the Panthers offense just didn't do a ton last week, but Adam Thielen is operating as their wide receiver 1 right now. He only had 2 catches. Again, I'm not super concerned about that. In the preseason, he was way more involved, and this wide receiver core, it's just, they don't have a lot of guys, right? They have a banged up DJ Chark, Mingo, Terrence Marshall, Laviska Shenault. So even though Thielen's getting up there a bit in age, he is their go-to guy still. Last week, looking at the snaps, he played 68 of the 77 snaps and ran 41 routes. If you give me 41 routes again for a guy like Adam Thielen, I think we have a pretty good shot to hit this. Also, again, probably will be good game script. The Panthers most likely, you think, would be playing from behind in this game. So we're going to take more than 2.5 receptions for Adam Thielen. If you take a look at DraftKings Sportsbook, it is also pretty heavily juiced to the over. 2.5 receptions at -135. So I can see this one getting bumped. Now, this one I'm pretty sure is on Underdog. It is. You can take 2.5 receptions on Underdog as well for Jamal Williams. For Adam Thielen. Sorry, I'm making this video early, so still not fully there right now. I gotta wake up. I gotta drink my coffee. That's what I gotta do. Oh. Went for a big sip of the coffee. Got a piece of ice cube. That was not intended either. All right. Let's talk about the last one we're going to be looking to. It's going to be a rushing plus receiving yards prop. We're looking at Chuba Hubbard at 48.5, and we're taking less than 48.5 for Chuba Hubbard. I believe it's 47 on Underdog, which I'm still fine if you want to take that. It is 47, so 47.5. So like, there's a little bit better value with PrizePicks, but yeah, this one I think was a bit of an outlier. Now, I talk about this a lot. If you want to be successful with betting on player props, you can't be results oriented. You really have to kind of dig deep to find good value. So, like, for example, Breece Hall, week 1 was a complete outlier performance. He played like 20% of snaps, just broke off like that long run. And the Jets said that they were going to keep him on a similar snap count going into week 2. So I didn't look at the results from week 1. I looked at the data. I saw he's barely going to play again, and I hammered his under 9 fantasy score. Easily hit. Or, kind of buying low on an offense like the Buffalo Bills. If you watch a YouTube video, we took Josh Allen over his passing completions. We took Dalton Kincaid over his fantasy score. Again, I wasn't putting too much emphasis into what I saw week 1. I know this Bills offense is great. So it's just like, you cannot, I think what a lot of people do is they just kind of look at the results and then try to like pick plays off that. Don't look at the results. You have to really look into the data and find edges, like I did with Breece Hall, hammering his under, or the Bills. I knew there were very good chance that they were going to bounce back at home against the Raiders, right? But back to Chuba Hubbard. So this is kind of like the Breece Hall from week 1. I'm not buying into what I saw from Chuba Hubbard in his limited touches. If you take a look at Chuba Hubbard, now he was good. He was good in his limited touches, but I've seen this story. Listen. I grinded preseason DFS and player props, right? We absolutely killed it. We had 125% ROI betting player props in the preseason. So I'm very familiar with Chuba Hubbard. This was an outlier performance. He was not doing much in the preseason. He was like 3 yards in a cloud of dust for Chuba Hubbard. Now, he had 9 carries for 60 yards and 2 catches. But like I said, I'm not buying it. The reason I'm not buying it, let's dig a little bit deeper into the data. So he had that big game, but he played 28 of the 77 snaps. Miles Sanders pretty clearly outsnapped him 44 of the 77 snaps. So if you give Chuba Hubbard like 25, 30, what is that? Like 30% of snaps again, I think we have a pretty good chance to hit less than 48.5 rushing plus receiving yards. I'm not buying into Chuba Hubbard, taking snaps or like being the RB1 over Miles Sanders. No. So we're taking less than 48.5 rushing plus receiving yards for Chuba Hubbard. You can take it 47.5 on Underdog. But yeah, if you take a look at DraftKings Sportsbook, let's just like look into it, right? So his receiving yards prop currently, where is it? Chuba Hubbard is at 8.5. The 8.5 for receiving yards. Let's take a look at the rushing yards. Where is that at? 34.5, right? So that's like 43. Let's take a look what they have for rushing plus receiving yards for him. So they do put him at 47.5, but again, if you give him similar snaps, if you give him like 30% of the snaps again, I think we have a pretty good shot to hit less than 48.5 rushing plus receiving yards. So those are going to be 3 picks for tonight. I'm going to be posting some more over on Patreon. Also, if you take a look at the Odds Jam Fantasy Sports Optimizer, you can see a couple of their top plays here, some defensive props, which I don't really play much, but a couple defensive props. You also have Pat Freiermuth under his 4 receptions, which that's what I'm kind of eyeing too. Freiermuth only played about half the snaps last week, so I don't hate that one. Another one the optimizer likes is the under on both Miles Sanders plus Jamal Williams rushing yards. So if you guys are interested in signing up for OddsJam, you can use the code DKDFS for 25% off your first month. I will say, if you are serious about sports gambling, making money on DFS sites, I would highly, highly recommend it. Okay, guys, so that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully, we can full sweep once again. Hopefully, we can continue this massive heater that we're on. But I appreciate you guys for watching as always. Good luck, and we'll see you guys all in the next video.